not to continually use my mother as an example. Sorry, Mom. Not that she'll ever frickin' see this. But she will say she doesn't care about the Bible. She doesn't, or well, I mean she does, but she doesn't care if you can point out problems with it. Doesn't care about philosophical arguments. Doesn't care about the logical arguments. She sees Jesus working in her life every day. And even if I were to try to go down the route of, I'm willing to accept that you have experiences that you are claiming and attributing to Jesus, I just wonder what the justification is for that. That has no impact on her. It may be me, that I should never have these conversations with my mom. But that's the path that it often goes down when they start seeing this doubt mechanism coming in of, oh no, it couldn't be true because of this experience that I have. As skeptics, as critical thinkers, I don't know, in much the same way that I talked about perhaps not addressing the facts as much as the mechanisms, I think there's a value for a campaign to teach people to stop being so confident about their interpretation of their personal experiences. Because all of those seem to be an argument from ignorance. I experienced this, I have no explanation for it, therefore it must be God, or therefore it's a ghost, or therefore this pill worked, or this whatever worked.
Yeah, well, yeah. And I think I have to confess that if I'm asked what it would take to falsify my non-belief in God, or what it would take to convince me of anything supernatural, I find it very hard. I used to think it'd be easy. You just God would appear in clouds and chariots of fire and things.
Well, that's a start, isn't it?
I used to think that, but I mean, I've seen so many good conjuring tricks and where you absolutely swear blind it's supernatural, and yet we know it's a trick. I suppose if Jesus came down in a chariot from a cloud, that would do it for me, but
I want that piece of video excerpted and put on YouTube.
I still think, actually, a more plausible explanation than anything supernatural is natural we don't yet understand, and so a trick wrought by an alien civilization that we don't know about yet or something is actually as implausible as it is more plausible than that the laws of physics have been violated, which is what we're kind of talking about when we talk about.
Yeah, this issue's, you and I discussed this in Vancouver, and Lawrence Krauss and I did as well, because quite often people will say, well, what would it take to change your mind about whether or not there's a God? And I used to give fairly glib answers of Jesus coming down from the clouds and whatever, and I realized that what you were just talking about, so my answer changed. I have no idea what would convince me that a God exists, but if there's a God, he should absolutely know what should convince me. Yeah. And he hasn't done that, which means he either doesn't exist or doesn't want me to know he exists. Either way, it's not my problem.
Yeah.